Hey brothers and sisters, I'm back with another video today. It's going to be a bit of a short one today, but I'm talking about generation gap and what that whole thing and what's going on with the generation gap. So to start off, I'm just going to tell you what the definition of a generation gap. So generation gap is a difference of attitudes between people and different generations, leading to a lack of understanding. So basically, it means over generations, people have treated others differently and, told certain people less things. And so over time, everything's just been watered down and no one really knows what's going on or the truth, except for not many people know the truth. And so that truth is the word and everything, like Yahusha and his real name and everything. And yeah, so the attitudes thing. So if you do go around talking about Yahusha, you're gonna get told not to. You're gonna get told that you're wrong, and people are gonna get aggressive around you because they don't like what you're talking about. And generally, the people who do this most would be the older people, older generations, because the older the generation is, the more they would know, because it still hasn't been fully watered down. Whereas down to this generation, or the generation just above us, they don't really know much about the word and everything, than the truth, and so they'll listen and they'll consider what you're saying. Whereas the older generations, most of them have probably already heard this before, and they don't care, and they just tell you that you're wrong and what you're doing is wrong and that you shouldn't be doing this, because they want control, they want power over you, they want to be able to control you, and they want their way, and they know if people are following Yahusha, they don't get their way, because they're doing what Yahusha wants, not what they want. Because that's the only way to follow Yahusha correctly, doing what he wants and doing the right behavior. Whereas if you're doing what you want and doing what the world does, then it's the wrong thing, and that's what they want you to do. They don't want you to do what Yahusha wants you to do. And so they do this, because they want power over you, and they want you to think that they're so magnificent because they know stuff, when really all they know is just lies. Because if they haven't gotten this stuff from the word, then they've gotten it from lies. And you can check the word. So Google something like Bible verses about generation gap. Because if you write scriptures about generation gap, most of the time nothing will come up. So you write Bible verses about generation gap, and things will come up it'll tell you how there will be a generation gap, though people will just, people won't know, and then it'll just keep going where they don't know. But no one even considers, people out there in the world. They don't think, I wonder why I'm on this earth. Why am I here? How did I get here? They don't wonder that. They don't do any research. They don't ask anyone. They just do what they do, and they do what they want to be doing. They don't care about anything else, and because of that, there's been a massive generation gap, because people are holding back information, and then others are too lazy to get up and ask about it and research stuff. And so, that's just caused a massive gap between generations of information and respect, really. So, the word dignity, I'll get that word up, because that word is one I want to talk about as well. So, in the English dictionary, dignity means the state or quality of being worthy of honor or respect. So, if you're not being treated with dignity, it means they're not giving you the respect that you deserve. And that's what the older generations do. If you tell them these kind of things, they'll get aggressive. They'll tell you that you're wrong, and they'll lash out most of the time and tell you, you're wrong, and try and force it onto you. because that's what they want. They want you to behave the way they are because they want to feel normal. But if everyone is doing what Yahusha wants and they're not, then they're the ones who aren't normal. And they want to be normal. They want to blend in with society. And really, society is wrong. They're trying to control people and tell them what they're doing is wrong when they talk about Yahusha. And if you look out, nowadays you can believe in whatever you want, but as soon as someone starts talking about Yahusha, all of a sudden, everyone's all stern and aggressive with it, and they don't really want to talk about it. So, yeah, they're not treating you with dignity. The older generations, they won't do that. And I'm gonna get the Hebrew meaning of it. The Hebrew meaning is stuff like greatness, concretely, mighty acts, dignity, great things, majesty. Wealth, abstractly, costliness, honor, precious things, price. Above, dignity, haughty, height, high, loftily, upward. Greatness, majesty. Be accepted, dignity, excellency, highness, raise up self, rising. Elation or cheerfulness. An elevation or leprous scab. Yeah, so, yeah, just like in this, if you're not being treated with dignity, then, and they're not giving you the dignity you deserve, they're not respecting you. They're treating you like you're wrong and that they know everything and you should just follow them, because if you're not following them, you're just so wrong because you want to do your own thing and they're trying to control you, and so they'll make you feel wrong and try and tell you that you're wrong. When really it's the exact opposite. They're wrong, but they don't want to focus or see that they're wrong, because if they see that they're wrong, they all of a sudden they lose all this power they think they have, because if you're wrong, then obviously you're not doing the right thing, and they aren't, but they think if they're caught out for being wrong, then they're going to be losing a bunch of power, but they don't have any power in the first place. I mean, they've influenced people can do what they want them to do, but that's not really power. The only person who has power is Yahusha. And yeah, and the only way to stand up for ourselves and do this is by telling them. We have to tell them. We have to say, no, I don't want to do that. And if they continue to try and push it on us, just continue to say, no, I'm not doing that. Say if they want you to eat pork or crustaceans and they try and force it onto you, say no. And if they keep trying to force it onto you, just leave the room, because it's better to have a late dinner and make yourself something than eat pork or eat something that Yahusha doesn't want you to eat. It's much better to do that than be doing the wrong thing that Yahusha wants you, when Yahusha wants you to do the right thing. So in James 4, it says, resist the devil and he will flee. So if you just say no, if they try and get you to do something that Yahusha doesn't want you to do, and you just say no, and you do not do it whatsoever, eventually they will give up and they will just leave you alone, and they'll just stop trying to force you into doing it. Because, yeah, all you have to do, if you have Yahusha in you and you're immersed, you have the power to say no to the demons. So if someone comes up to you and they try and force you into doing something, then you can tell them, no, I don't want to do that, that's wrong. And even if they keep pushing you to do it, you can keep saying no. You can do what Yahusha wants you to do by saying no to them and, listening to Yahusha and doing what he wants. So I've got a scripture here about the generation gap. So it says in Judges 2:10, after that whole generation had been gathered to their fathers, another generation grew up who knew neither Yahusha nor what he had done for Israel. So over time, it says there in the scripture, there's your proof that this is true. So it says there in the scripture that what Yahusha's done, people are gonna, over time, they're gonna forget about it. People are gonna stop telling others because demons are gonna get them, and they're going to tell them, don't tell them this, they'll do this or that. And they listen to those demons because they think those demons are trying to help them. They think it's them when it's not them. And so they, over time, just stop telling their children, and their children don't bother to get up and ask about it. No, they just want to sit down and do their own thing. They don't care about why they're on this earth, why they're doing what they're doing. They don't want, and why they have the feeling they have. They don't want to know any of this stuff. They don't care. And the older generations are fine with that because they don't care because they want them to not know because they have power by them not knowing, they think. And they have control over that person if they don't know, and they think, oh, this person's so good because they're telling me how to live and how to do everything right, when really that person in the older generation isn't doing any of that stuff. They're doing the wrong thing. They're telling them lies, trying to control them. And yeah, it's wrong that they're doing that. But that's what the scripture says that will happen. All the evidence you need is in the word there. So yeah, if you are getting forced to do something, just know you can just say no to them, and they will have to listen to you eventually, because they won't have the persistence, most of them, to just continuously try and force it onto you. And this is mainly the older generations, because they know all of this stuff, and so they can see when they know this stuff, so they know what you're talking about, because most of them have already heard this before, and they've tried to keep it from you because they want control. And when you know this, you know the truth, you know the word, you know Yahusha, they can't control you because you are doing what Yahusha wants you to do. But as soon as you listen to them and do what they want you to do, they have control over you. Like I said last video, the scripture says, once you sin once, you become a slave to it. So once you listen to them and do what they want you to do once, they're going to continuously force you into doing it. No matter what, they're going to tell you, do it, and you're going to end up doing it. But if you resist them, don't let them control you, because all they want is to hurt you. They want to profit off of you. They don't care how it affects you. They just want to profit off you because they think, this person's younger, they don't know what I know, and so if I can control them, I can get them to do what I want to make me seem all high and mighty. And I don't want that for you guys, so that's why I'm sharing this with you. And yeah, so just so you guys know that all this is happening around us, and if you have been immersed, it'll be easy for you to see this, because all this is happening around us in the world. You look out onto the news, every second day there's something new happening, where someone's being controlled, or someone's being attacked, or someone's dead or something. And yeah, all this is happening around us. Yahusha's nearly back, and I want as many people as possible to be with him. So I want to share this with you so you guys can resist the devil, and so he will flee and not pester you about this, and so you can do what Yahusha wants you to do, so you can be with him at the end with everyone else. So that's all I have for today. My next video will probably be about the consequences of sinning. once you have been immersed in Yahusha, because the consequences are much worse once you've been immersed. And also, next episode, I'll probably have a special guest with me to help share the word, and so he can give his opinion on things. So yeah, can't wait to present it. Bye bye.